So I caught up on publishing videos, and I've been recording more today, of course. The question I have is, how many videos are too many to publish? And it's like, well, it doesn't hurt anybody to publish them. It's not my server space I'm using, so there's no cost there. But for people in the audience, people who like some of what I say, it might be discouraging if I, publish every single day 2-hour videos, because they might think, well, I can't keep up, and therefore I'll tune them out, which is a somewhat reasonable way to think, I suppose. It's fine. I guess they could always just get more particular in what it is that they listen to, but often I mix the same topic within the same long video. And my answer to that has been lately, well, AI will edit it later, which is probably true. AI is going to go through and pick out topics that, was an hour, 45 minutes into a video about some controversial thing. And this is also dangerous, because then they're going to discover later I said something offensive, and it's like, well, whatever. Just like, people get in trouble for tweets they made a long time ago. And because kids right now are recording their whole adolescence, they're going to, 20 years from now, they're going to have talked about something where they said a word or expressed an idea that in the, cultural Maoism of the time, the dogma of the time, then they're suddenly retroactively hugely evil. And that's, of course, fucked up and stuff. So that's a different issue, sorry. So the length of the videos and total amount of content is one problem. I tend to think that the number of videos that would be reasonable to publish every day is probably 2. Just making that number up. But like if I was following a channel and I wanted to feel like I was keeping up, I might be able to listen to 2 15-minute videos a day. Well, I'm currently publishing way more than that, because, I'm able to ramble and connect all these ideas together in dang near insane ways. So what's the right number to publish? Now, there's been many people who have told me, well, you should publish short little videos, and that does make some sense. And there's even some software that will take your long videos and chop them up in little pieces for you. So I could publish lots of tiny videos chopping topics up. But I also feel like I just have to do what is comfortable for me to produce. And I have time. I have a camera in my hand. I have Starlink, which allows me to connect the internet and upload tons of crap. And I sort of feel like it's not really my problem. Like, all this shit can get indexed. And it could even be like a list of topics and then a link to the specific time frame within that video where that topic is discussed. And I could set that up, but I don't care enough to do it. I would rather express to you my ideas as they come, mix them together, and just do whatever seems natural to me, given the tools that I have. So I don't think there's a right number. And recently I saw videos that talked about grandfather-style videos. People just make shit up all the time. Like, it's this new thing, and it's like this new style that's more exciting, and this guy talks for a long time. And by the way, I don't have kids, so despite my age and my gray, I'm not a grandfather. So don't stereotype me based on my reproductive habits, you judgmental. I don't really like insulting people that much, and I'm not good at it, so make up insults for yourself, please. Like, put that down on your to-do list to make up insults for yourself. I made some up for me, of course. So how much to publish, on what, when and how, I really don't believe I have to care. And I continue to agree with the idea that AI will take care of it. Everything I've ever said will later on become trivial to chop up, index, and process into a bot, and eventually people will just talk to the bot. Like, talk to the hand, talk to the bot. And I'll be dead anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. And the bot will, of course, lie. Hopefully it will be fed things that are true, and hopefully I can get that stuff figured out before I die, so that somebody after I'm dead doesn't make a bot with everything I've said and then highlight the stuff I've said that will piss people off the most. which would be the more nuanced, complex topics where I say things interesting and sometimes contradict myself because I'm playing with ideas, because I actually think instead of just following some dogmatic ideology like an idiot, like most people do. You know, and every time I've called any demographic an idiot, which is, I really want to make sure that it's clear. I think pretty much everyone's an idiot, and that includes me. I mean, we all are just tiny specks of perception in a very complex world of what appear to be a bunch of different beings. I'm not a solipsist. I don't think I'm the only person that exists, although a lot of people seem to act like they think they're the only person that's important, but they happen to believe everything that they were programmed to believe, and they've avoided any information to the contrary. In other words, my fucking intellectual respect for the average person is way low. And that's your fault, maybe not you individually, but be careful in thinking you're an exception. Everybody fucking thinks they're right, kind of by definition. It's not like we're genetically designed to think that we're wrong, and I hope that you weren't raised in a way that crushed your intellectual spirit or that crushed your confidence or anything. But there's a lot of bullshit confidence out there. This is Dunning-Kruger effect. You can look that up. You know, where the people who are the most sure of themselves are often the most unqualified and useless. That's how it goes. And the people who are not question themselves the most. And I hope that if anything else on my channel or my things I produce, that you understand I have actually a great amount of humility in my point of view. I'm extremely aware that I only have a certain amount of perspective. I'm just one person living one life. Now, I do have some confidence because I have lived that life in a very strange way, because I was forced at a very young age to become anti-authoritarian because I was given a bunch of bullshit to believe in that I had to rebel against, which threw me into the epistemological crisis of having to wonder what the fuck is true, which caused me to study everything I could get access to, and I've never stopped doing that. I will investigate the opposite of what I believe with empathy, trying to know why I'm wrong about any particular thing. I will not trust history. I will not trust any authority. I will not trust anybody. Well, I have been fucked over by people by trusting them when I shouldn't have. That was dumb of me in many cases. But at least I'm self-aware enough, and I've changed my view enough, not because I'm waffly, but because I'm able to deal with new concepts. And if you're not doing that, if you're so fucking sure of yourself because you were born into something and that's all you were ever programmed to believe, then you're just fucking wrong. I mean, the likelihood of you randomly being given all truth and correctness because you were born into a particular situation and you were programmed a particular way is like zero. I mean, that just makes sense, doesn't it? That's just a simple evaluation of, it's just a little too coincidental that you happen to have born into your religion that requires you to kill anybody who disagrees with it or oppress them, or they're just wrong, they're ignorant, they didn't pray enough, you know, their God is wrong, all the other gods are wrong, yours is right, yours is the one true truth of goodness, and everyone else is ignorant and evil, and if they only just prayed more, or they only just studied more the exact shit you believe, then it would all be good, and they would agree with you. Dream on, motherfucker. No. That's not how truth and seeking truth works. It's questioning the fuck out of everything. I just got kicked off another forum of theoretically freedom-minded, freedom-loving people who think they're authorities on freedom and spreading freedom. I got kicked off because I mentioned that they're vegans, and they made it really clear that they're not vegans. But then if you look them up, they're like, you know, in their community that they're trying to set up with other people's money. It's all very suspicious. It's very scammy. They refer to their rule that you can't slaughter animals on the property. Not just kill them, not process them, it's slaughter. animal slaughter. Because they're fucking vegans. They're hardcore vegans. That's their rule set. And anybody who's going to consider joining the community should be extremely aware of that. I know some people I'm going to talk to sometime soon, and they're going to go to this place, and I might suggest to them, kind of jokingly, but not really, because there's no rule supposedly in this community against eating meat, just raising it and slaughtering it. Because raising it, you're going to have to slaughter it. Or what are you going to do? Take it off site and slaughter it there? Make it take a car ride somewhere else? Are you going to walk over the property line and murder it there? Okay, meat's murder, fine. I'm not even anti-vegan. But admit what you're doing. Anyway, so my suggestion, my sort of joking suggestion to them would be bring steaks with you and bring charcoal with you and put some rocks somewhere in a grate or something. Find a way to cook your meat, because they're probably not going to allow you to cook it in the kitchen. You're going to rapidly find out that this community that wants your money to live there, because the community wants to use other people's money to create themselves. They don't want to use their money. That wouldn't be freedom that they want. They want the freedom to use other people's money to create their freedom. They're conflating freedom and free for them, and no freedom for the people who are there. So if these people did bring meat and cooked it up, I think they would find themselves very unwelcome in that community. That's my guess, since all I had to do was just make a comment asking about the status of vegan and stuff in this thing, and I was then canceled from their chat. I no longer can post on it, even though I'm a very freedom-loving person. But these people, I've known of them for like 6 years. And of course, when they wanted to visit me, they wanted their visit to be free. They wanted 8 people to come out, and a dog and a cat. I just looked up this mail where we were chatting about it, and they really objected to being charged for it. And then a different group of 10 people wanted to come out and visit for the day because they were searching for land, right? And that's a lot of people for one hermit to take on. People I don't know even their names. I don't even know their name. And it makes me nervous. I don't want them to know where I live. And guess what? They haven't fucking published where their community's at. It's secret. Because they're smart. And I'm very open. I was very open. I'm not open anymore. I'm going to become more like them. I'm going to learn from them. I'm going to become more discriminatory. And I'm going to protect my freedom from people who want to take it away. And these freedom-loving people are exactly the kind of people who want to take your freedom away. And I think any organization that exists will be generally infiltrated, or it even starts out corrupt from the very beginning. And so an organization has to protect itself from that. And I have to think about that, as I have been alone a long time and unwilling to participate with anyone, really. I have to think about that very carefully. How am I going to protect myself and interact with other people who are perfectly willing to lie about who they are, what they want, and I'm just nervous as fuck about it. I've had cults contact me and want to locate themselves in my property, including some really weird cults, and I'd be outnumbered. They just want a place to fucking take over, and that's not going to fly here. And I have plenty of friends who won't let it fly either. They would not allow that to occur. So, I mean, locals basically who don't want weird fucked up groups moving into the area. And so it's a mess. It's a serious mess. And so, it's I have to figure out who can I trust and how can I trust them. And on what basis do I discriminate? Because I do have to be discriminatory. So do you in your own life. You have to figure out who you want near you and who you don't. And good luck with that. It's very tough because we have to relate to people. We have to function within society. And some of us have goals to create a better society. Well, any attempt at that, there's going to be a ton of people that want to take it over. And if they can't take it over, they will attack it or destroy it. And it's not that hard to do. All they have to do is spread some gossip and lies. Very easy to do. think about that also when you hear about people in groups. Don't trust anyone. And, so I don't mention the names of these groups. If you know who they are, then you know who they are. And if you don't, you don't. But it isn't my goal to attack them. But they should be honest. And they're not. I'm honest, but I'm also alone. It's a good way to be. And maybe it's impossible. Maybe we are so fundamentally flawed. Maybe we are so fundamentally contaminated by the damage we've incurred by living in a controlled society, whichever version of it you've grown up in or been affected by. Maybe we're so damaged that we can't work together. Maybe it's just not possible. That's a very depressing thought, and I apologize to end this video on that. But that is the shit we have to think about. If you've got some magic ways to identify people who are good versus bad and trustworthy versus not, please let me know, because I've been working on thinking about that, and I have been talking with people, and there could even be some software solutions for that. Because it's not all about good and bad, it's about compatible and not. Like, I have no problem with them having a vegan community. Great, do it. But then say you're that. Say, we are a vegan community, and don't try and waffle about it, and just say, no meat. Because if you allow meat, then you're supporting the slaughter of animals somewhere. Figure your shit out, bitches. Yarr.